everybody, my name is Eileen and welcome to Musical Mondays. I'm an actress here at Playhouse on the Square. Some of my favorite things I get to do during the year are work on the theater for young audience shows. This past holiday season, I was in Peter Pan. I played Mary Darling. I also get to work closely with the theater education department as a teacher here at Playhouse on the Square. I'll be teaching this class for the next 9 weeks. Every week we'll learn a new musical, a song from that musical, and maybe some choreography. And then I'll give you the materials to practice at home. We want to see you film a video and show us what you did. We cannot wait to see what you come up with. Now, before we get started, I just want to share my one class rule with you. Try. Just try. Nobody's perfect. I'm certainly not. And musicals take a lot of practice, so don't be discouraged. All right, it's time to talk about the musical of the week. Now, this musical is a musical I'm pretty sure none of you have heard of, but that's exciting because we get to learn something new together. It's a musical called Babes in Arms. Babes in Arms was on Broadway in 1937. The same year that Snow White was in theaters for the first time. It was written by Richard Rodgers and Lorenz Hart. They made a movie of Babes in Arms in 1939, and it starred Judy Garland and Mickey Rooney. Now, Judy Garland, you might know as Dorothy in Wizard of Oz. And Mickey Rooney, famous for Breakfast at Tiffany's and so many other films, you might know as Gus in Night at the Museum. Babes in Arms tells the story about a group of kids who put on a musical to save their summer stock theater from being demolished. Now, today, we're going to learn one of the songs from their production. It's one of my favorite in the show. It's called Johnny One Note. Now, when learning a song, I like to start with the lyrics because it's very important to know what you're saying, or singing. And when you don't have to worry about the notes, it's a lot easier. So when I teach the lyrics, I'll start by saying them first, and then you can repeat them, okay? Johnny could only sing one note, and the note he sang was this. Ah. Your turn. Very good. Poor Johnny One Note sang out with gusto and just overlorded the place. You try. Very good. Poor Johnny One Note yelled willy-nilly until he was blue in the face. You try. For holding one note was his ace, and you. Great job! Now, there are a few words in those lyrics that are tricky for me, so let's just go over them together. When we say that Johnny One Note sang out with gusto, we mean that he sang out loud and proud. And when we say he overlorded the place, we mean that he was the loudest one in the entire building. And finally, when we say that holding one note was his ace, we mean that holding one note for a really long time is his special skill. Now that we know the lyrics of the song, we need to learn the notes. The notes of a song are called the melody. Johnny could only sing one note, and the note he sang was this. One note is really challenging. There's a lot of long notes and loud notes because that's what Johnny's known for. Now, when you start singing, one of the most important things to learn is how to breathe. And I'm sure you know how to breathe. I mean, you're doing it right now and you're alive. But breathing for singing and breathing on stage is a little bit different than breathing in real life. The first thing I want you to notice is that when I turn to the side and I breathe, my stomach fills up with air like a big balloon. Now, I know a lot of you have like little stomachs and you probably won't see this as much, but give yourself a mirror and look into it and give yourself a breath and let it out. Kind of like a dog panting. And your stomach should go out and in and out and in. And you should see that. Where you shouldn't see your breath happening is from your shoulders. You don't want your shoulders to go up and down when you breathe. So you don't want to see this. When you breathe from your shoulders, you're a lot less supported and you don't have as much oxygen. So you tend to get a little lightheaded. When you see people running really fast and they run out of breath, they breathe from their shoulders as they try to catch their breath. But the deeper you breathe down in your diaphragm, when you fill your stomach up with air, the more supported you are for making loud noises or long noises just like Johnny. So some of my favorite techniques to learn when breathing are breathing for sustaining and breathing for volume. The first one, breathing for sustaining, is all about breathing so that you can hold that long note out just as long as Johnny did. So we're gonna first take a deep breath in, no shoulders moving, right? And then we're gonna let it out on a and I want you to hold that as long as you have breath for. So when you run out of breath, stop, take another breath. It's done, we're over, it's fine. I don't want you to pass out. I just want you to as long as you have breath. All right? Deep breath in. And very good. So, another thing that we can do while practicing breathing for sustaining is twirl our fingers around just like this. And when we twirl our fingers around, it shows us if we're engaged with our breath support or not. So if I was breathing from my shoulders, my fingers are gonna start bumping into themselves, slowing down, speeding up, because I'm not really engaged with my breath support. But if I breathe from my stomach, my fingers should keep going until I run out of air. So let's try that one together, okay? Deep breath in, and very good. Another thing you'll notice about my body when I'm breathing is that I'm not bent. My shoulders aren't slumped. I'm not sitting. I'm in an upright, tall position. We like to say feet shoulder width apart, shoulders rolled slightly back. And this is the best posture for breathing while singing or speaking in a theater setting. Now, the second technique we're going to use is breathing for volume. Now, in the song, Johnny One Note, we said that Johnny yelled willy-nilly. We will not be yelling willy-nilly in my class because yelling can be very damaging to your vocal cords. When we yell, our vocal cords go from a nice, happy little jellyfish to slamming into each other, and it hurts a lot. It hurts my arms just to do this. So, we want to make sure that we're being very nice to our vocal cords. And for that reason, we practice breathing for volume, or breathing so that we can support ourselves and be even louder than we already are without ever having to yell. See what I mean? So, same thing, we're gonna take a deep breath in, way down here, and then we're gonna let it out all at once. Just like that, like a cannonball. Like we're being punched in the gut, like we're a cartoon character being punched in the gut. Very good. Now, you want to take that to the next level and make a noise with it. So we're going to practice on 4 ha's. We're going to take that deep breath in, and we're going to let it out on 4 loud ha's. Now, you want to be loud and have high volume, but you do not want to scream. So if at any point you feel this in your throat and your throat hurts, stop, take another deep breath, and try again without feeling any pain in your throat. Okay? Let's try. Deep breath in, and ha, ha, ha. any pain here? You shouldn't. And if you do, once again, just breathe deep and try again. Really feel that cannonball hitting your gut every single time. Now that we've learned these breathing techniques, we can try singing Johnny one note again with all of the things that we've learned. For example, when you sing the first line, Johnny could only sing one note and the note he sang was this. You want to make sure that you have a big deep breath before your because I could hold it even longer than Johnny does, as long as I support myself. So let's try that with a big deep breath before Ready? Johnny could only sing one note and the note he sang was this. Very good. See how easy that is? As long as we take that nice supported breath, we could go forever. And we still have that sustaining going. So instead of saying the sound, we're just saying in its place with a nice open mouth. Now, when we get to the later lines of the song, we can practice our volume breathing. So what I want you to do is start each of those next two sections quietly and build up. So it should sound like this. Poor Johnny one note sang out with gusto and just overlorded the place. See how it went from pretty quiet to really loud. And that's all just done with my breathing support. So I'm taking my breath in and I'm knocking it out like a cannonball. And that's all you have to do to be a way healthier singer, is practice good breathing techniques. So you try them at home. Record a video of yourself singing that long note and the quiet to loud moments and send it to us, okay? That's all I have for today, but we'll send you the video and we want to see you practice your good breathing techniques and see if you can hold that note out as long as Johnny. Information on where to send that video at the end of our video. Remember, just try. See you next week.